sometimes it's almost harder to sit on the bench than come back into the game. So it's just kind of finding a balance of that. But just trying to get my...
The drama surrounding Caitlin Clark and the now infamous "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirt didn't start with a buzzer beater or a press conference. It started with a message stitched in bold letters and worn like armor on national television. At the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game, what should have been a celebration of skill and star power turned into a seismic cultural moment, thanks to 5 little words and one very big name. Clark, the rookie phenom who has brought more attention, ticket sales and broadcast ratings to women's basketball than anyone in decades, walked onto the court wearing a shirt that demanded justice not just for herself, but for every woman in the league. And in doing so, she ignited a firestorm. As warm-ups came off and the cameras panned across the court, fans didn't just see their favorite players. They saw a protest unfold in real time. The black shirts with their
It's been great. Obviously, we continue to have meetings, and I know we're excited for Denise to be here.
Who want to apologetically angel?
Defiant white text, "Pay us what you owe us," weren't just wardrobe choices. Ow. They were declarations. Declarations aimed directly at the league's front office, its Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, and anyone else who had overlooked, underpaid, or underestimated the value of WNBA athletes. But none of those shirts hit harder than the one Caitlin Clark was wearing, because if anyone had the power to make that message go viral, to make the league tremble under the weight of a reckoning, it was her. The backlash, of course, came fast. Critics emerged from every corner of the internet, accusing Clark of stepping out of line, of inserting herself into matters she should be grateful to avoid. Some even questioned whether she should be punished, benched, or worse, fired. But what they failed to understand was that this wasn't a rookie being reckless. This was a leader making a statement. Caitlin Clark didn't need that moment to boost her brand. She was the brand.
Taking them out of actions, mucking it up, making it ugly, defensive, so then we can go and transition and get what we want. But
she could have played it safe, stood on the sidelines of the protest, and let others carry the message. But she didn't. She stood shoulder to shoulder with teammates and rivals alike, many of whom had taken aim at her all season. She chose solidarity over safety, conviction over comfort. And that's exactly what makes this moment so powerful, and so dangerous to those who benefit from the silence. Clark is not just any rookie. She's the reason the WNBA is enjoying a historic rise in viewership, merchandise sales, and media relevance. Indiana Fever games sell out because she's there. Social media impressions skyrocket when her name is mentioned. She's not just a basketball player. She's a marketing juggernaut. And when that kind of influence gets pointed toward a message of justice, it terrifies those who profit off inequity. Especially when that message comes dressed in a black t-shirt and refuses to be
in our rotation, for sure. And we still haven't had a practice with everybody, right? So I think building consistency.
Ignored. Some of the harshest responses didn't come from random trolls or distant observers. They came from within commentators, fans, and even fellow players who saw Clark's move as ungrateful or opportunistic. Claims flew that she was being manipulated by veteran players who had spent years disrespecting her, that they were using her star power to amplify a message they couldn't deliver on their own, that she was enabling a rebellion rather than leading a movement. And yet none of those critiques acknowledged the simple truth. Clark didn't have to wear that shirt. She chose to. Not for headlines, not for praise, but because she knew it mattered. It would have been easy for Clark to say nothing, to let her stats do the talk. After all, her contributions to the league are already historic. A surge in ratings by over 20%, a record-breaking rise in merchandise sales, standing room-only crowds. She could have claimed her own share and moved on.
This group and having us in the city of Indianapolis, I think like the best of both worlds is happening right now, so I'm a bask in it.
But instead, she looked at the system she was uplifting and demanded that it uplift everyone. When she said, "Pay us what you owe us," she wasn't just talking about herself. She was talking about the overlooked bench players grinding for minimum contracts, the veterans traveling back-to-back with no chartered flights, the women playing through injuries because the league lacks the infrastructure to support them properly, That's who Caitlin Clark was standing up for. And that's what makes the outrage so hollow. Because if the WNBA's rise in popularity is being driven largely by one player, wouldn't the smart move be to support her? To listen to her? To protect the very person lifting the league out of obscurity and into mainstream relevance? Instead, Clark finds herself being punished again, not for what she did, but for daring to challenge the system that profits from her image. She didn't start this fire, but she lit the match, knowing full well she'd be the one scorched. It's not lost on anyone paying attention.
Did you see their lights match up in the chippy moments?
Yeah, and in the physicality.
Yeah, I didn't think we had a great response to it.
Attention that NBA players have worn protest shirts for years. Can't breathe, equality, Black Lives Matter. And in doing so, they were hailed as leaders, as role models. But when WNBA players, including its biggest star, wear shirts demanding fair compensation, response shifts from admiration to outrage. That double standard is glaring, and Clark's critics have no answer for it. They'd rather shift the focus from why the players are protesting to how uncomfortable it makes everyone else feel. And yet, that discomfort is the point. That shirt wasn't just a fashion choice. It was a pressure valve, a warning shot, a conversation starter, and more importantly, it was a line in the sand. If the WNBA can enjoy record-breaking growth, then why can't the players who built it enjoy a fairer piece of the pie? If the media rights deals are about to explode in value, then why?
In this space and just to continue to grow.
What does that feel like?
It's
when
like
when you're seeing, you're walking out to the court or looking.
Should players still be fighting for basic benefits and livable wages? Right now, WNBA players receive less than 10% of league revenue. By contrast, NBA players receive close to 50%. That's not just a gap, that's a chasm. And Clark, in her quiet, defiant way, said what needed to be said. Close it. Let's not. Forget how the league has treated her up to this point. She's taken elbows on the court, been left off Team USA, ignored by referees, accused of being the center of white fan favoritism, and dragged by players and media alike. And still, when the moment came to stand up not just for herself, but for the whole league, she did. She put everything on the line. Not because she had something to prove, but because she knew others needed someone to believe in. She didn't play the victim, she played the leader. And that's far more threatening to
about last year. But no question the physical talents of Aerie and
the status quo than any. The three-pointer she could hit from the logo, there's something poetic about it all. The rookie who came in as a question mark, could she handle the WNBA's physicality, the politics, the pressure? Is now the one carrying its future on her back? And as the league tries to decide how to handle this uprising, Caitlin Clark continues to show up, not just on the stat sheet, but in the hearts of fans who are finally paying attention. Because what she's doing is bigger than basketball. It's about setting a standard, raising a voice, and forcing a conversation that's been avoided for too long. Some say she should have just focused on her game, that the shirt was a distraction. But here's the truth. They're only calling it a distraction because it worked, because it got attention, because it made people talk. And the fear now isn't that Caitlin Clark will speak again, that more players like her will find their voice too.
That's big picture. We need to go day by day. This team needs to focus on what we did today, learn from it, and come back tomorrow and be.
Next rookie won't wait years to ask for fairness. That fans will demand transparency. That the media will stop spinning protests into scandal. That the WNBA will have to stop pretending growth is a one-woman show and start investing in the women driving it. Caitlin Clark didn't ask for this role, but she's wearing it just as boldly as she wore that shirt. And maybe that's the most revolutionary part of all. Because history won't remember the headlines. It won't remember the hot takes. It'll remember that on one night, during one game, when the league hoped for silence, one player made sure the world heard their message loud and clear. If you believe Caitlin Clark did the right thing, if you think she's showing the kind of leadership women's sports desperately need, then drop a 100% in the comments. Do you think she risked too much? Or is this exactly the kind of player the WNBA needs to build around? Let us know what you think, and if you want more deep dives into powerful moments like this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this story is far from over. And we'll be right here to break it down every step of the way.